Hi guys, welcome back to Mansell Media Corner, and today is another WWE ranking video. The year I am ranking is a very interesting year nowadays, but the year is 2004. The reason why I'm doing 2004 as a wrestling fan, it's the rise of John Cena and the rated R superstar Edge. So, there's 6 pay-per-views. So in at number 6, nothing against this pay-per-view. There's a couple of matches which are interesting, but it's Armageddon 2004. But the main event is a fatal 4-way for the WWE Championship match. The champion JBL versus the Dead Man, The Undertaker, versus the late great Eddie Guerrero versus Booker T. Had a very interesting street fight. This was the rise of John Cena. He goes against Jesus with Carlito in his corner. He had a 3-on-1 handicap match with Big Show against Luther Reigns, Mark Jindrak and Kurt Angle. WWE Tag Team Championship match, RVD and Rey Mysterio versus Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree. We had a Cruiserweight title match, which was Spike Dudley, the champion, versus Funaki, the challenger. Then the Dixie Dog fight, which was Daniel Puder versus Mike Mizanin, who would later be known as The Miz. Boxing match, and Miss Jackie versus Dawn Marie with Charlie Haas special referee. This pay-per-view is actually not that bad. Like I said, a couple of matches weren't that good, but other than that, yeah, it's a decent pay-per-view. Then, on to number 5 now. Again, an absolute, really great Survivor Series. I love the kind of the cartoon-ish artwork of, like Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, Chris Benoit, the Dead Man himself, The Undertaker, but the matches are Women's Championship match, Trish Stratus, who I think was heel, versus Lita Babyface. Intercontinental Championship match, Shelton Benjamin the Tramp versus Christian. I think had Tyson and Tom Cowan in his corner. Had a match, Undertaker versus Heidenreich. I'm not too sure if this was around the time he was like stalking Michael Cole. It was SmackDown and named commentator, pardon. Had a traditional 4-on-4 Survivor Series match, which isn't that bad of a match, with pitting Eddie Guerrero, Big Show, Rob Van Dam and John Cena versus Kurt Angle, Carlito, Caribbean Cool, Brazilian champion, Mark Jindrak and Luther Reigns. And to start off with the pay-per-view, had a Fatal 4-way Cruiserweight Championship of the World, Spike Dudley versus Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero versus Billy Kidman. The main event was a really good Survivor Series elimination match between Randy Orton, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho and Maven versus Triple H, Edge, Batista and Gene Snitsky. He also had a WWE Championship match, JBL versus Booker T. But this was the 14th of November at Cleveland, Ohio. So yeah, that's in at number 5. Now, in at number 4, It's another big of the big four. This is the original cover, but it's one. In the semi-main event, you've got The Undertaker versus JBL for the WWE Championship. This was the original cover. And because of the Benoit murder in 2007, he just had that image on when they redone the DVD. But this is the original, and it's got Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is a really good match as well. Really good chemistry between the two. But the only downside is that match Diva Dodgeball, but you had a great 6-man tag team match between Rey Mysterio, Paul London and Billy Kidman versus Spike Dudley, Bubba Dudley and Devon Dudley. Really good triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Edge versus Batista versus Chris Jericho. They had the best of 5 for the Undisputed Championship. US Championship. There's Booker T versus John Cena. To Death Us 2-part match. Matt Hardy the babyface versus Kane the heel, I think he was. The good match as well, actually, between Triple H and Eugene, and Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. If I remember, the JBL versus Undertaker's decent, but the main event was Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton, so that's in at number 4. Now, in at number 3, it's No Way Out 2004, the night Eddie Guerrero beat the odds and beat the SmackDown WWE champion. So to start with, we got a 6-man tag team match, Ultimo Dragon, Paul London and Billy Kidman versus Tajiri, Akio and Sakoda, I think it's pronounced. Got APO versus the world's greatest tag team, which was Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. Then you got Hardcore Holly versus Rhino. WWE Tag Team title handicap match with pitching champions Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty versus the Basham brothers, which is Doug and Danny Basham and Shaniqua. I think it was something called Alana Miles. I think her name was in real life. But you had Nidia versus Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble must wrestle a match blindfolded. Not that good of a match, but you had WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Rey Mysterio with Jorge Perez versus Chavo Guerrero with Chavo Guerrero Sr. Good match as well. Triple threat match, Kurt Angle versus John Cena versus The Big Show. Decent triple threat, but the main event was a classic. Brock Lesnar versus the underdog in Ed Guerrero. Really good match. Really decent match. So that's in at number 3. It's No Way Out 2004. Now, in at number 2 is what the fans call now the Forgotten Royal Rumble, because of the whole Chris Benoit 2007 tragedy, or shocking tragedy, whatever way you call it. But on the front cover, of course, is a very young John Cena. This was when he first got over with the WWE fans. This was in Philadelphia on January 25th, 2004. But got an absolute classic match, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in last man standing match. Brock Lesnar versus Hardcore Holly. Not that good of a match, but it's okay. A really good brother versus brother, which is Eddie Guerrero versus Chavo. I think them cousins are the brothers or cousins in real life, but yeah, Eddie versus Chavo Guerrero's a quite decent match. Had Rey Mysterio versus Jamie Noble for the Cruiserweight Championship. Decent Cruiserweight Championship match. World Tag Team Championship tables match pitting the Dudley Boys, which is Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley versus Evolution's Ric Flair and Batista. That match is okay, if I recall, but the Royal Rumble match, first two participants was Chris Benoit and Randy Orton. Of course, Chris Benoit would like to win this particular Royal Rumble match, but really good Royal Rumble. When you think about some of the participants now who are involved in it, like Scott Steiner, Booker T, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Goldberg, etc. So yeah, in at number 2 is that prestigious Royal Rumble, the Forgotten Rumble. And in at number 1 is an awesome, for me it's an amazing WrestleMania. The Sunday, March the 14th, 2004, of course, the legendary Madison Square Garden in New York City. And this is the 3-disc special edition. So I remember when this show aired. This was the rise of John Cena. He fights when he beat Big Show for the US Championship match. Pardon me. You got a very young Johnny Nitro as well in the coach in Eric Bischoff's office. You got a fatal 4-way match for the World Tag Team Championship, which is RVD and Booker T versus the Dudley Boys versus Ghost and Kane and Mark Jindrak versus La Resistance, which was when I did Prince Sylvia and Grenier, I think it was. I had a really good one-on-one match between Chris Jericho and Christian. He had one of the Rock's last appearances before WrestleMania 32, where he teams up with his former rival about early 99, but they were friends in Mick Foley versus Randy Orton, who was feuded, I think, with Mick Foley, Ric Flair and Animal Batista. Really good Hall of Fame class as well. The only two really top matches which weren't that good. This is one of them. Sable and Tori Wilson versus Stacy Keibler and Miss Jackie. He had the first ever WWE Cruiserweight Championship Open pitting Chavo Guerrero versus Jamie Noble versus Funaki versus Ultimo Dragon versus Rey Mysterio versus Nunzio versus Tajiri versus Shannon Moore versus Billy Kidman. Again, a really bad match, and you think about it still to this day. It's Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, but they like to have better matches. See that then you had the Fatal 4-way for the WWE Tag Team Championship, which was on SmackDown, I think. Which is Scotty 2 Hottie and Rikishi versus APA, which was Bradshaw and Farouk versus Doug and Danny Basham versus World's Greatest Tag Team Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. And on to disc 2, you've got Jesse the Body Venture interviews Donald Trump. We had a hair versus hair match in the Women's Championship, which was, I think, Raw, if I recall rightly. Just Victoria versus Molly Holly. Really good match between Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. and Undertaker and Kane as well. But you had a really, really solid, great triple threat match between Shawn Michaels, champion Triple H, and Chris Benoit. But yeah, really, really good, really, really solid WrestleMania. And we've also got like bonuses like confidential. So yeah, so that's in at number one. So I'm gonna give a couple of shout outs to a couple of guys who are now, one isn't really slowly getting into his wrestling, which is my good friend James Millership from Jim Jam Movies and TV, hell of a YouTuber. And one of the reasons why I got into doing YouTube as well. Then we got Scottish Geek Guy. Then we've got Beatdown Bunny, who's been doing his latest WWE ranking videos for years. And also Nathan, the wrestling guy as well. So yeah, that's my 2004 ranking. Let me know what some of your highlights of the pay-per-views of 2004. I always like reading the comments. So anyway, please like, share and subscribe to Man's Media Corner. And I may leave a link in the box for the other guys I've mentioned. Give them a sub if you haven't. Especially like Beatdown Bunny, Nathan, the wrestling guy, and Jim Jam Movies and Scottish Geek Guy. And even my good friend Rebeccalouise, I'm going to mention as well. She's a really inspirational person. So yeah. And yeah, please like, share and subscribe to Man's Media Corner, and goodbye, and I'll see you for some more ranking videos and some more other videos. So thank you for watching the channel, and goodbye folks.